So I mentioned in one of my shorts that one of the rules, I think it was my first rule for learning CW, is to learn your call sign and learn what it sounds like at any speed. So that'll be 5 words a minute, 10 words a minute, 13 words a minute, 18 words a minute, 20 words a minute. Try to see how fast you can hear your call sign. So like maybe 40 words a minute will be your goal, right? So I'm not saying that you need to be proficient at 40 words a minute, but I think you need to have some kind of a goal for speed building, and knowing your call sign when you hear it is going to be probably one of the most important pieces of CW as you continue in your journey of learning CW. One of the reasons why I say that is you might be into DXing, which, most of the contact exchange is going to be your call sign and the other person's call sign and 5NN, right? So your call sign is going to be used a ton. It's going to be the most repeated piece of information that you're going to receive. So if you're trying to like work some DX and you're barely able to pick them out, being able to pick out your call sign is going to be one of the most important things that I think you should be really proficient at. The second thing, so this is advice number 2, is to learn how to send your call sign at varying speeds, whether it be 10 words a minute. I've got this set up for 15 words a minute, and I think you should try to be able to send your call sign up to about 40 words a minute. That'll be your goal. So you're not going to be able to do that maybe today or tomorrow or next week or next month, but I think that should be your goal. Try to be able to send it accurately and smoothly as possible, and try to get up to a 40 word a minute goal. So what you could do is, if you don't have a practice oscillator, I just plug my key into my radio here. I turn off the break-in button so I'm not actually transmitting, and I've got my keyer enabled here so I can just go just like that. So let's crank this up to 20 words a minute. And I want you to listen to what you're sending, and I want you to just absorb that as well as practice sending. Nothing is more cooler than sending your call sign, and then maybe that's 5NN, right? Bringing this up to 25 words a minute. And you can do it in like, 2 word a minute increments, or one. You can do 26, 27, something like that. But just look at getting proficient at sending your call sign. You notice I'm K9KJ, that last K and the J kind of got ran a little bit together, so practice on the smoothage. That was probably perfect. Crank it up. Let's go 30. Nice flow. Get used to that. Do that over and over and over and over. Because when you're playing with DX, I know Parks on the Air doesn't really necessarily count for this, but when you're like playing in contacts and contests or working DX, you're going to be wanting to send your call sign out there super fast. You might think, wow, 30 words a minute, I don't think, or maybe even 35 words a minute, that DX station, it's just going to be like too fast. No way. Those folks are proficient up to 40 words a minute and more. I'm not, but so that's 35 words a minute. And try to get up to 40 words a minute if you can. It almost, as you get faster, you can almost get that smoothage kind of nailed. So try to work on that. And then, if you want an extra challenge, try 45 words a minute. Or 50. I don't know if I'll be able to do 50. Let's see. No, that was an OJ. So yeah, try to get up to 40 words a minute. It'll be fun. It's something to play with, something to get you using your CW key or paddle. Let's get on the oscillator or use your radio and turn off break-in so you're not actually transmitting, and use this as a tool to practice your call sign. So if we go back down to like 35 words a minute. You know, if you think about a typical DX contact, it's your call sign. So then they'll come back, K9KJ 599, then I'll go practice that. So that's going to be a DX, one of those rare DX contacts, and you need to be ready and fluid because, you know, I think some of these DXpeditions and the folks in DX, they're not going to come back to somebody that's got a sloppy fist, or they're probably going to wait for a little bit of a lull in activity before they come back to somebody that's going to ruin their rhythm or kind of like, you know, create a choppy situation. So I'm not saying that that's great, but try to do that. Keep your hand on the paddle and keep practicing and trying different things. You can do, you know, your call sign. You can do 73, and then SK. A little dit at the end, as the POTA folks like to do. So, anyways, have fun with CW and get on this thing. Practice, practice, practice. Try to get up to 40 words a minute with your call sign and have a good time doing it. 73, everybody, and CW on.